Alright guys, we are back on the Clock Network. I apologize for being out so many weeks without any content, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on the Chargers and the Ravens Sunday NFL primetime game, if you would, Sunday night NFL game. Specifically, I'm going to be talking pretty much about the Chargers, what I saw. I just saw a lot of lack of defensive awareness, a lot of just missed tackles, especially on the last touchdown, kind of the reverse, with Flowers on the reversal, that Lamar handed off the ball to him, and then he literally just ran it into the end zone, and he was pretty much gone. It seemed like one of the defenders on the Chargers tried to match up with him and run in order to actually cover him, but he actually ran too far and then had to adjust for him, and he actually ran past kind of where he should have, and he had to correct his feet, and he could never have been able to even to tackle him. So he ran past. It's just defensive misawareness there, I think, of just the misawareness. And I mean, most of what I saw was just missed tackles. Like I said, defensive awareness. There was just so much about, like, normally with Staley, the way he is so aggressive on fourth downs, and obviously I know, it's 13-10 at one point, and you have to go for it. Just the offensive line seemed to really fail Herbert at times, right when he needed to have the best, to have enough time to throw to Keenan Allen. Keenan had a great day fantasy-wise, so that was good, but most of the time, you could just, Herbert was under duress the entire night, and especially with the fumble, throwing it and then literally getting the strip, Clowney getting the strip, and the points awarded to Clowney as far as that strip goes. So, just the whole breakdown of the offensive line just completely failed Herbert at so many times in this game. And I don't know what you can really do to fix it other than just, you could say get up in the offensive line. I don't know. I haven't really looked in depth. I don't really study the Chargers roster that much, so I don't know the offensive linemen that they have. But all I know is I'm just looking from a perspective of a Bears fan and a Cowboys fan, where I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at this and I'm like, there's something wrong with this team. I do think Staley, I don't think he keeps his job after this year, the way they're going. They're 4-7 now. And I just don't see how there's so many times he's been so aggressive on fourth downs, and sometimes it pays off. But there's so many times where I'm sitting there going, why did you do this? Why did you do this? Why did you go for it? But there obviously you had to go for it at the end there, to at least give you a shot to win the game. And Herbert was looking to Keenan Allen on a really, the way Keenan was lined up, he was lined up in really, I would say kind of a slot position, but he was on the left side. If you're Herbert, he's on your left side. I knew he would look that way. But there's so many times in this game that I saw Keenan in motion, and I knew he was going to go to him. And it seemed like it was kind of repetitive. It seemed like there wasn't any. I know Keenan's the big star on this team. I know he's kind of the Kelsey-like for the Chargers. He's the star. But there's so many times where I knew whoever is in motion, at least when Keenan was, it's like, okay, he's going to throw it to him. Most of the time he did. So there really wasn't a whole lot of trickery, I thought, with that. And I just thought that a lot of those plays with the offense, just, you didn't really hide. You didn't do a whole lot of screens, I saw. I could be wrong, but I just saw a lot of just where I could see Keenan in motion a lot of the time. And obviously Keenan was the main guy that he threw to the whole night, but it was just very predictable. You saw Keenan in motion, and then he would line up in a slot position, and then literally, what would Herbert do? Look his way, and then throw to him. But again, Herbert was getting targeted, and so many times he was getting attacked, and he didn't have a whole lot of time to throw the ball. So when he did have time, he had to throw it pretty quick to Keenan to thread it in there. And obviously Keenan's a big guy, so he's able to actually make good catches and actually come down with some really good contested catches. So I thought that was good. But it's just one of those things where I thought Herbert is just getting completely he's under duress. He doesn't have time to throw. He's completely getting attacked. He can't do his progressions because he's completely getting blindsided by pretty much any lineman on the defensive side for the Ravens, and they're literally swarming him. And the one time when he needed to really, the one time when the offensive line, really needed to give Herbert time to throw is on that last play when he actually, before the Ravens scored and they turned it over on downs, it was still 13-10, and he looked Allen's way, and then one of the guys came off the left, and he would look that way, and all of a sudden the guy's coming right at him, and it's like, you have no time. And he tried to throw it, but there was this little hesitation to where I think he was waiting for Keenan to break out of his route and to be open, and that little hesitation of holding on to the ball, I think, made a difference between him maybe being able to get it out and Keenan being able to maybe make a grab for it, and the difference with him also getting hit, because then he gets hit and he's trying to throw it, but the defender's also bringing him down at the same time, so he's also on an awkward angle throwing, which literally led to the intentional grounding. So it's just I don't know. I just go back and forth with the Chargers. There's just a lot of a lot of it falls into coaching decisions, and I think a lot of it is on Brandon Staley as well. A lot of this falls on him for a lot of the fourth downs. Obviously, I understand going for it there. On when you're it's fourth down, it's 13-10. You have to go for it. It's fourth down territory. I get it. But there's so many times where he's gone for it before in primetime games and in games that I've watched, and I'm like, it's a little risky, dude. What are you doing? Like, you could take a field goal here, and you're going for it, and see that, and that's what happened with, like, and since I'm a Bears fan, I saw Eberflus do that, and so many times I feel like these coaches, they don't take the points when they need to, they don't take the field goals when they need to, and if you took the field goals, I've seen it with Staley, where if you take the field goals, you'd actually end up winning the game at the end and not actually having to be in a situation where you force your quarterback to actually go down and have to score. And you don't put yourself, if you actually take the points and you don't put yourself in that situation, you pretty much help your quarterback out by not putting him in such a difficult situation. I don't care who the quarterback is. You put your quarterback in a tough situation like that when you know you should have taken points in the first half. You know that you went for it on fourth down. You know you should have taken points in the first half. You know you should have gotten the field goal. And you go for it. Defense stops you, whatever. You don't get the first down. And then all of a sudden, it's a minute to go in the game, and you're down by, at least like 7 points, whatever to tie, whatever the game is, and the other team's up by a touchdown, or 10 points or whatever, and you have to score. You have to get a touchdown. You put your quarterback in a very tough position. If you took the field goal, you might have been able to be on the other end, where it's like, okay, we're still down 4 points, whatever, we still have to score. But it's something like that. I don't know, but I know I'm not making like the greatest examples of situations where you go down and you're in a better position after since you took those points. But let's say you're up 3 points when the opponent scored a touchdown. You're still up by 3 points. You get the ball back with a minute left. Easy. You don't have to go down. You're not behind. Whereas if you went for it on fourth down, when you did take the points, you could have actually put yourself in a more difficult situation. by then forcing your quarterback to have to go down the field to score a touchdown to win, because maybe the field goal doesn't get it. I don't know. It's late it's kind of late recording this video, so I apologize if I'm not making much sense on the examples, but I just wanted to get on here for a few minutes and just talk about what I was seeing in the Chargers game, because there was just a lot of, just like I said, missed tackles, just lack of defensive awareness. The offensive line for the Chargers looked completely just atrocious at times. They did give Herbert some time every now and then, but it just seems like they were getting swarmed, and it seemed like the speed of Clowney, the speed of the guys on Baltimore's defense just completely overwhelmed the offensive line. The Chargers completely just went right past them, and it just didn't seem like the Chargers offensive line was able to hold them, and pretty much speaks to how under duress Herbert was for most of this game. So that's about it. I do think, are we going to see Staley get fired tomorrow? Probably not. But he is definitely on the hot seat, and he's been on the hot seat for a while with a lot of these kind of gutsy, fourth down, controversial, choices that he's made. So, again, it's pretty much all I have. I'm going to try and get back to regular schedule on posting videos throughout the week. Most of my content is usually geared towards hockey, and that's pretty much it. I don't really speak on a whole lot of NFL, but I just thought I'd weigh in as far as what I was seeing in this game, since I watched a good part of the second half and a little bit of the first half. So that's about it, guys. Thanks again, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And again, this is On the Clock Network. My name is Eric, and I will see you next time. God bless.